All right. Guess we're gonna find out if it's any better. Welcome back to the stream. It's not a man-made mead stream without a little bit of failure, right? That is the indication of a solid stream. All right. Hey, here we go. Guess we're gonna find out if it's any better. Welcome back. Okay. Welcome. I'm gonna open up some of these bottles while we're waiting for people to come back. We're gonna start with I think the orange is probably the worst of these. Arguably the peanut butter jelly. Welcome Renea, Brandon, Gene. Hi from Tulsa. Hey, you're not far from me. Ian, welcome my friend. Glad you all are here. Now, before my stream blew up, per usual, I was wondering what you guys are brewing. And I think we started to talk about it, but then my stream blew up. So, what's going on in your brew house? Somebody asked, do you ever cold crash meads? Absolutely. I got 2 things cold crashing right now in my fridge right here. So, yes, very regularly. Ooh, wow. This is a orange mead. Straight up orange. From, I don't have my label on here. 2017, 2018, I think. Hi from New Orleans. Ooh, this... I might have been too bold. This one's actually smells pretty good. Dang. Hello from Wisconsin. Love that. Ooh, I don't know the... You can definitely get a pithy taste from this orange. Black cherry cinnamon. Ooh, I've never thought about combining those things. That seems interesting. I've done blueberry cinnamon. In fact, I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm gonna take my blueberry cinnamon mead up there. We're going to a cabin and just hanging out. So I'm taking a load of things, and blueberry cinnamon's going with me. About to start my first batch. You were the first brewer I found. It inspired me, so thanks. Brandon, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. What are you making? That's the real question. What's your first brew gonna be? Ian says apple juice hooch with 1/4 teaspoon yeast and some yeast nutrient. Cranberry with the same. Nice. Those sound great. Peach hydromel, couple traditionals, blueberry. Nice, Renea. Lots to secondary. I know how you feel. I got lots of things back behind me that need to move as well. Hello from Atlanta. Ooh. Big ol' ATL. Ian asks, what's your best recommendation to cold crash efficiently? A fridge. If you can, well, in like 1 gallon, half-gallon batches, you can throw them in your regular fridge. Whenever you get to like these 3-gallon, 5-gallon batches, you normally need a large, like if you have a drink fridge in your garage, maybe, you're going to more than likely be able to put that in there. In your normal house fridge, if you can do it, it works. But you need a big place. That's kind of mine. Or if you're like me, right now it is, oh goodness, it is 28 degrees outside. So if I put my mead out in my sunroom right now, it's not going to freeze. It's just going to bring down the temp. So if you're in a cold place right now, you can put it outside if you want to risk it. Making a sizer. We love sizers. Orange blossom honey. Sorry, I was trying to figure out. Jared, what would I do? Man, orange blossom is so versatile that you could literally put it in anything. That's what I love about it. If you haven't made a traditional with it yet, make a traditional. Step 1. From there, you could start to throw it in literally any brew. A blueberry mead, a apple mead, cranberry mead. You could do a braggot. You could throw it in literally anything. I got a sweet mead kit from Northern Brewer. Then I'm going to try your Acer Glen. Oh, it's not my Acer Glen recipe. I don't have an Acer Glen recipe. You're thinking of doing the most, which I will gladly take getting mixed up with him. Southwestern mead. David, what is your Southwestern mead? I'm very curious. Rising Sun, Ohio. Ancient orange mead. Cheers, my friend. I'm drinking well, in a way it's an ancient orange mead. It's a 4-year-old orange mead, so it's kind of ancient. 1.5 liters. Yeah, you can have to put that in the fridge. Colin asks, hey man, I just tasted 3-year-old black and blue, blackberries and blueberries mead. And oh my god, I honestly didn't like it when it was young, but now it's one of the best things ever. The thing with mead is you will find that aging mead normally fixes a lot of problems that you've had. Now, I want to caution you with this. A lot of people think if I just let my mead age for an eternity, at some point in that eternity, it will be incredible. Like, it will be the best thing ever. There is a little bit of a bell curve of greatness for all meads, and I learned this recently because I had some very tiny bottles like this of my first 8 meads that I did a tasting for, which you'll see that video soon, and some of them have gone past their prime. So I would say just be cautious to not let your things age for too long. You know, it's good to, but they could also hit that point of not great. Orange Blossom does make a lovely hydromel. I've got some interesting hydromels right now. I've got a macadamia blossom honey hydromel that is I'm currently force carbonating. I'm working on a braggot. It is a eucalyptus honey braggot, so that one I'm excited for. I feel like I have a eucalyptus traditional, not a hydromel. Colin says you're the one who made me back to hobby. Hey, I'm glad I could help you get back in. I suppose my real question would be, what are you currently making at the moment, if you don't mind? What's the best thing you've ever made? Whew, those are big questions. Question number 1, Colin, is only big because I make a lot of stuff. Just at this current moment, I'll read off my things that are not, videos that are not finished. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Because right now I have a lot of videos that are finished of things. Hold on. Pulling up my Grandmaster list. At this current point in life, I have two macadamia nut honey meads, a pear and a traditional. I've got a Mamane blossom traditional that I'm leaving dry, a carrot blossom traditional, a carrot blossom metheglin. I just finished a carrot, turmeric, and ginger mead. I finished 2 yeast shootouts. I have a strawberry braggot going, a eucalyptus braggot, a traditional eucalyptus honey, a Christmas berry traditional, a Christmas berry bochet, a Pinot Blanc piment, a pineapple and maple and honey mead, a pear and clover honey mead. There's some other ones that I'm missing here. Anyways, that's a lot of stuff. Now, my best one ever, that's hard to say because I'm starting to have some really good ones. I would say that like my best recipe to recreate is an apple and cinnamon mead. It's about 8-9%, and I've been really trying to finalize and master the end result for that one. That peppermint mead I make, though, is baller. If you've never made that peppermint mead, and I'm not just saying it because it's my recipe, it actually is great. So, I've missed a lot of things, so sorry. Keegan, thank you for that. I'm so glad you're in the hobby now. Beet mead in progress. Ooh, Lewis, let me know how that turns out. Have you ever heard of City Steading Brews? Yes, I have. I actually featured them if you watched my whatever it was, Mead Maker Creator Awards ceremony of 2021. That video took me a long time. Took me like probably 28 hours to finish everything. So if you want to go check that out. But they were featured in that one as well. Beet mead. Anyone from New Zealand? Anyone from New Zealand out there? What's up, Theron? Theron? Sorry, buddy. I don't know if I butchered your name. Christmas berry. I've never done anything with Christmas berry. So I'm super excited. I have some other ones that are interesting. I have a. Uh, sorry, I'm multitasking right now. I have a 12-pound thing of Ulay Blossom Honey, which is from Sean Harris. If you haven't talked to him on the Facebook mead making groups, he sells honey, and it is very exciting because he always has some really good stuff. And then he also sent me, or I purchased, I should say, some Princess Tree Blossom Honey. I know you can't see it, so. Anyone have any ideas for those things? Because I'd be curious. Let me do one thing. Let me let my dog out of this room. Go on, buddy. Hello from Sweden, Boxy. Woo, 3:20 in the morning. You might be the most time committed person here in order to wake up, or I guess I don't know if you've fallen asleep yet. The turmeric ginger mead sounds lovely. It was a big test. I bought one of these carrot turmeric ginger like juices you can buy at stores, and threw some honey in, threw some yeast in, and let it go, and it turned out to be pretty good. I was a little bit skeptical at first, but it turned out to be pretty dang good. A Cliffside Wine and Meadery has a licorice metheglin. Ooh, that's bold. I'm curious, how many of you guys like black licorice? I feel like it is such a weird flavor that not everybody's a big fan. I'm not a big fan. Theron rhymes with Karen or Sharon or Darren. Okay, thank you. Theron. Appreciate it. I should know that. I see you all the time. That's my bad, man. Renee is making a flower power mead with Princess Blossom. Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, like a rotomel with rose petals? That could be very good. Interesting. Heard you say you're trying to master an apple cinnamon mead. I'm trying to master my apple cinnamon cider, but the mead sounds nice too. The mead itself is very nice. The warmth from honey in the apple recipe is just super nice. I mean, I'm a big fan. Mastering a recipe is tough. It takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of trial and error. And it is important if you want to really dive deep into mead making. It's okay to make something once, but if for you to really do it well, you got to make it probably at least twice, if not more. Hello from England. Welcome, James. Glad you're here. Was raised on I like to flush it. I'm guessing you're talking about the black licorice. That's funny. I know you, Colin says, I know you do a lot, but you should really try black and blueberries in a mead. The blackberry gives a really nice tart. Yeah, I can see where blueberry, if you get a warm, sweet blueberry and a tart blackberry, you put them together, that could be really good. And then you pile on some wildflower or some nice varietal of honey. That could be pretty dang good. I just think of The Office of Dwight Schrute every time, and that is like everyone in the universe now thinks of that because of The Office, but I can't get that out. Maybe I'll do like a Office themed mead and do something for him. I wish this would focus in. This thing is not currently focused. I'm buying a bottle capper. I bought 2 packs of Modelo beer. Reminds me of Skyrim. What other beer bottles look cool? I personally like, if I'm getting beer bottles, I don't like the stubby ones, the shorter ones as much. I prefer like the taller standards. I try to whenever I buy, this is bad. When I buy beer now, or things that are bottled, I try not to buy bottles that have in labels, or not labels, but glass etching on them, because like a Breckenridge Brewery does their own glass etching. I don't necessarily like giving those out to people because then some people get sketched out about recycling, so these are more generic. So that's what I would do. You can bottle in anything though. I mean, if you have old liquor bottles, bottle in that. Bottle in whatever you can. I would say recycling is the best, honestly. I do want to open this. So this is it's a precursorial to the video that will be out in 2 weeks. This is a blueberry mead. It's got some interesting. You can't see it because my camera sucks right now, but there is a. It is like stained the glass of this. Like it's kind of a cool effect, but I don't know what 5 years on a blueberry mead has done. Kevin's chili mead. Oh man, that'd be really fun. Obviously, real chili is not the thing, but chili pepper? That could be interesting. Ooh, what other ones could you... So you have Dwight's Beet mead. Kevin's chili mead. Trying to think what other things you could get away with. Ooh, got a little spray there. Blueberry apple. Maine Beer Company are great if you've ever had it. The pumpkin mead is something I want to investigate more. It's kind of tough, and you could do it lots of different ways. I want to try real pumpkin at some point, but it is obviously tough to use real pumpkin. Genius off. I need to start. I have all these books now, so one of them. Let me grab real fast. So I bought a couple books because I want to make meads coming out of books. So there's this Let There Be, Big Book of Mead Recipes, and it's Vicky Rowe, who I've interviewed before, and it's just got a bunch of. It's honestly very basic in that it has mead recipe, and then how you do it. And I want to find a couple of these in here to make. Here's like a chili and mango mead, and it's got down to everything you need. It's funny to me because what they did essentially is they made a giant Google Doc and then just copy and pasted it and made it to a book, because there's bit.ly links to Amazon products, which obviously you're not gonna. It's a book, you can't click on these things, so that is funny to me. But that's from Robert Ratliff, and then he also has another one. It's Let There Be Mellow Mells, and it has the same idea, just things. But the one that I really want to make mead through, is the Elder Scrolls. There's a couple. Obviously, there's a lot of recipes in here, but there's a spiced wine, cider, mulled wine. There's a Nord mead. That's the juniper berry mead. I kind of want to make these because they'd be fun to do at some point. What's your opinion on bulk versus bottle aging? You did an experiment, but what do you personally do most? That is very funny that you mentioned that, because that's the test itself is continuing. I just did a 3-year tasting of a bottled version and a bulk aged mead they're the exact same mead. And what I'm finding is that bottle aging is easiest because obviously you can split things up and put them in different places. Bulk aging is nice because you have a consistent product. Now, the truth of the matter, unless you were putting one of your bottles in, let's say, halfway across the house, and another bottle in one room and another bottle in a room, and they're all fluctuating temperatures, you're not going to get a big difference between them. So I personally like bottle aging. It's just easier because I make so much mead. But if you can bulk age, it doesn't hurt. That video will be out sometime in the future. I don't know when. Do you have any batches currently on repeat? Yeah, the apple cinnamon is always on repeat. That's the main one right now. That's the one I'm recipe testing. I'm trying to bring the cost down. So the challenge with that one is previously I would make it with apple juice and honey, and then in the secondary post-fermentation stage, I would always I would add real apples. And I kind of tried this last time to get away from that and use concentrate. And what I'm finding is that the real apple addition is just so important. It adds the tannin that you want. It adds true apple character. It's hard to get away from them. So that's my recipe testing at the moment. Other than that, I don't have a lot of repeats because the YouTube channel requires me to continue to make new things all the time. Good peanut butter in a brew. You can get I don't have it around me, but there's PB2 is what it's called. It's powdered peanut butter. I only know this because I did a peanut butter and jelly mead, and I had a lot of fun doing it because I attempted to make a peanut butter jelly mead, and then I had two friends from my Discord who also have made peanut butter jelly meads, and we swapped and did a big tasting. So that video will also be out in the future. That will be 3 ways to make a peanut butter and jelly mead. Skooma recipe. So some of you are gonna get mad. I am not a storyline game person. Meaning like games like Skyrim, games like, I mean, even like Modern Warfare, like the campaign of those things, I just never could get into. I'm more of like a quick, like, let's play for 5 minutes and I'm out game person. So like Super Smash Bros. I'm all about it. I love that. Because it's like you can play it for 5 minutes and walk away. But storylines are hard for me to get into, especially nowadays because I spend so much time on other things that if I sit down and spend 5 hours on a game, I look back and go, what could I have done with that 5 hours? Like, one of my favorite games ever, and to this day I still watch YouTube videos of people who play it, is RuneScape. I played it as a kid. I've got nostalgia out the wazoo for this game. And if I had extra time in my day, I would play RuneScape. But I don't have extra time in my day. Do you use powdered peanut butter? Yeah, powdered peanut butter is the way to go. Mangrove Jack's first Lalvin should be 1 year old by now. Oh, you mean like a... Oh, so here's my plan for those. The Yeast Shootout series is not done. I just finished... I've got 2 more that are coming out. So at this point, I've done 8 videos. That's 16 meads. I'm trying to find something, a way to creatively do a large, video doing all 16 meads. I could theoretically do a tournament. I already have a mead tournament planned at the end of this month with BC and my friend Tony and BC's friend Camila, which will be fun. So I don't know what to do. If you guys have any ideas, I'm thinking about just doing a tasting of all 16. Some of them are old. Some of them are 2.5 years old now. Apple cinnamon is where it's at. How do you not have a name? L? Whoever L is doesn't have a name here. That's crazy. Juan Weevil says, how do you decide how long a mead is worth aging for? Well, boy, do I have an answer for you. Here's what you do. You take it, you get multiple bottles, you open it up, and you taste it. And that's how you know. There's no magic. You can't say like, oh, I think this one will be great in 2 years, in 8 months, in 4 days. You literally cannot do that. You just got to keep taste testing. How long? Wait, I'm sorry. I've got to read this. Should I put the vanilla bean and oak in the same time, or should I wait a while before throwing the oak in? I would put the vanilla bean in first, and then I would add the oak. Because your oak is going to naturally add some vanillins. Generally speaking, oak adds the vanilla flavor, so you can kind of control it more. Also, you're not going to leave your vanilla bean in as long as your oak. So, kind of a trade-off. You don't want to have to rack off one and then put the other back in. It's kind of a weird situation. Vampire Survivors for $3 on Steam. The last Steam game I played was... I also have a weird fascination with like factory-based games. So like Factorio, where you just build a factory and you do crap. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but that stupid game also took up so much of my life. D&D is where it's at. James, boy, do I have a mead for you. I have a video I just finished. I don't know when it'll be out, but it is using D&D dice to make a mead. And I have a table that you roll off of. You roll a d20, a 12, an 8, a 6, and a 4. And the combination of those things tell you what mead you have to make, down to the yeast and the ingredients. So That video will be out. It's a lot of fun. I think people will have fun with that. I have an idea for RuneScape mead. There's it's called the Moonlight Mead in the game. It uses mushrooms, and it's kind of like a braggot. I don't know how to use mushrooms in mead yet, so I am trying to plan that one. I also have I want to collaborate with like a RuneScape YouTuber, and so I'm trying to figure out how to strategically go about that. Ooh, I don't know about this. Have you ever had a mead from a commercial brewery that was just embarrassing? Absolutely. Holy cow. I had one recently from Oklahoma. There's a winery that is in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I don't remember the name of them now. I'm not going to out them. They're dipping their toes into the mead territory, which is great. And I love it. Like, if you're listening, these people, you know who you are. Please keep trying. Their first attempt was rancid, was awful. It was probably the worst mead I've ever had. And that's saying a lot, because my meads I've had some really bad ones. So, yes, I'm not going to out that person. As far as other commercial meaderies, I've had some, like, ones that were like, this could be better. You know what I mean? That most places just lean into sweetness. So they kick their final gravity to, like, 1040. And then, of course, you're like, oh, this tastes good. It's because all you're tasting is honey. So most commercial meaderies are like honey heavy, I guess is the word for it, which is not always great. I don't remember who asked the question, but how do you know when your mead's gone past? Taste it. This has gone past. This is my blueberry mead from August of 2017, and it's gone past its shelf life, which is tragic. But I waited too long to taste it. I'm sure like 2 years ago it was very good. Let me go backwards a little bit. But I've seen Satisfactory, Lewis. That one, I haven't tried it yet. I'm also worried I'd get addicted. Olive Nation is a great place to get flavorings and things, and I suggest them as well. Dogsick Fetch he is throwing out some fighting words. He says vanilla extract is better than vanilla beans. Ooh, man, that's bold. I will say, I've been using extract recently, and Dogsick Fetch is going to receive a bottle very soon of something. Well, soon, in a couple weeks. Of something that I made, and he made better than me. And so I have made it again. I used a little vanilla extract, but not for flavoring. I'll leave it at that. Sometimes you can add things not for flavoring. You should add them to better a mead. I made a natural maple syrup fermentation. I liked it better young, more strong wood flavors. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna see lots of wacky brews. I actually have somebody sent me, and I'm so bad at me right now. I should remember his name. I'm gonna look it up right now. That's terrible of me. Sent me a gallon of maple syrup, and my brain is not. His name is Marshall. Marshall sent me a gallon of maple syrup, and I'm gonna make, after 230 mead recipes, I'm gonna make my first Acer Glen. So, it should be fun. An Okie from Muskogee sounds like a song. That does sound like a song. Don't sleep on making your own extracts. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Good Crusader asks, a braggot beer sounds really interesting. Would you mash and brew from grain or use an extract? I personally have only done from malt extracts, because I don't have the capability of doing the grain stuff easily. And so I have just kind of gone the beer kit route for the most part. But actually BC has invited me over for tomorrow, but I'm already planning to go over and brew with somebody else. gonna end up brewing a beer, and so he's doing all grain as well. Have you tried the new Starlight Coke? I have not tried that. That seems interesting. Can't seem to get honey maple ratios right. All my Acer Glens are kind of bad. I would recommend, again, doing the most. My friend BC has a really good video on Acer Glens. And he talks about using stuff like the Lalvin QA23 for the terpenes that are in the maple syrup and balancing the ratios and stuff. I would recommend that. And one day, I will have a video on making an Acer Glen, but it's not today. Gene Merle Haggard did a Okie from Muskogee. Yes, he did. I think that was the joke. Yeah, I think an Acer Glen will be very interesting to make after such a long time. What would an agave nectar wine with fruit be called? I don't know. Let's debate. Here's as I spend more time on YouTube and I get whatever, I can just continue going. I am getting more excited about mead making, also more frustrated about it. So as many of you know, or some of you know, I have a Facebook group. It's called Man-Made Mead Makers, or Mazers now, I think, actually. And I live on those Facebook platforms, and I see a lot of people who get lost in the semantics of mead making. For example, I see it with these, and I will gladly roast them because I think they're the dumbest people in the universe. These Facebook group experts that are self-proclaimed group experts who kind of berate people in the comments about their questions. And my hope is that, of course, my Facebook group is not like that, but I know that things happen. Anyways, these people get lost in semantics. So when you're making mead and you're talking about mead, try not to roast someone if they ask you a question like, hey, I'm trying to put my fruit in the secondary, and you have a strong opinion about what, quote, secondary is. Just take a step back, chill. Let's try and not make mead making a hostile community. That's what I'm trying to fix, the stupid people who make mead making hostile. BC, actually, doing the most. His video today he posted was Mead Swap 4, and he used part agave syrup with the honey for that mead. You should go check out that video. That was a lot of fun. And I had no idea, because the whole point of that series is bringing a mead back and forth without telling each other what we've done. I do want to do more with agave syrup now, though. I know who Merle Haggard is. Are you kidding me? I heard those claps. Jake. That's fun. Jake, are you out all of spring break? I'm guessing. Let me know, because I got to figure out when I'm going to ship you this package. That'd be fun. Okay, so since I'm fired up, I want to know, what is the most frustrating part about the mead community to you? I could go on a tangent because I live in this community, but I want to know, as people who live in it in a less, I don't want to say less involved capacity, but less involved capacity, what is super frustrating for you? Good point. So, Cliffside Wine and Meadery says, good point. Let's all share and learn from each other. A wise man learns from his mistakes, and even wiser man learns from others' mistakes. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. condescending. You'll get me fired up if I keep going. I gotta let you guys talk because it'll be bad news bears if I keep talking. I am currently opening my first ever rendition of a peanut butter and jelly mead. That is, this is from October 2019, and from my recollection, this was grape juice, not back sweetened, graham crackers to attempt bready flavor. That's about it. Have you ever used star thistle honey? No, I have not, but I've seen it. I've seen it on, what is that website? FlyingBeeRanch.com. Great place to buy honey. Actually bought some honey from them recently, which is carrot blossom honey that's been pre-bocheted. Interesting. Actually, a really good deal on that. You want to go check that out. But they have some on there. Yeah, Renea says, people not being nice. It's not what you say, but how you say it. It's true. You could correct somebody, help them, without being berating. I'm on a Reddit group with a small few get testy with the same questions. It's true. In some regards, I understand, but as someone who is an active teacher, you are going to receive the same questions over and over, and you have to learn that that's how teaching works. No one's ever going to remember or know because you said it 2 years ago. So we tend to be biased to our own type of mead, when mead can really be anything, and make it, oh boy, do I know that's true. You can make mead out of a lot of things. I have a whole series on that. Grant asks, what types of wood can you add to mead? Any type. I mean, you can go to the homebrew shop and get oak cubes, oak chips, oak granulated oak. You can get oak spirals. I'm sure if you were adventurous enough, you could try and throw a twig into your mead and see what happens. I would not recommend it, though. Woo! Holy cow. I was taken aback by this. It's the PB&J mead. Ooh, now I remember. What was I thinking? This PB&J mead has water in it as part of the base, mesquite honey, grape juice, peanut flavoring from Amaretti, which was very peanut heavy, grape flavoring, which I think I used grape, what's it called? Concentrate, and graham crackers. And it is. I feel like I'm sticking my nose in a thing of peanut butter right now. Oh, interesting. Needs some sweetness. It's got some breadiness, though. Wow. There's some vanilla coming from the graham cracker. It's just not sweet enough. Not grapey enough. It's got some caramel. Holy cow, that's complex. Let me get back to what I was thinking. Randy says, new to mead, looking to do some blueberry and strawberry lemonade meads for the summer. Any suggestions on how to best brew it? My suggestion would be to not ferment on your strawberries. I would actually put them in a bag, put them in a secondary state. If you can actually submerge them in a brew, that will help them actually impart a little better. You also don't have to worry about them molding. Strawberries tend to have a weird fermentation flavor post fermentation, kind of like in my experience, a rubbery, I don't really know the best term for it, kind of weird aftertaste. Putting them in that secondary will help. Lemonade side, I would go and buy the Great Value lemonade concentrate, and I'd actually use that. And then that sounds like it'd be really good carbonated. So maybe it's worth a shot to try that. David says, mine is when you come up with an idea and some percentage tells you that it won't work. When you ask them if they've tried it, they won't answer you. I've seen that before too. Not being willing to accept new ideas is important. Have you tried cactus honey? I haven't. It sounds interesting though. I don't know how to get a hold of it. If I can get a hold of the honey, I will use it. Unfortunately, if I can't, obviously I can't use it. Could you do a peanut butter and banana sandwich mead? I'm sure you could. Do I know how to do it? No earthly idea. Other than a peanut butter powder, bananas. I think maybe I do know how. You could use Maris Otter malt or a malt combination to get more of a bready flavor. Graham crackers for bready flavor. Honey. It's not hard. Bananas. You could do it. That might be a good idea. I agree. Strawberries smell really bad. They do. They have a weird funk about them, and it's hard to avoid. Like I don't know how you get away from it in that primary. I've never really had it in secondary. Brewman1 Drummer says, "Hello from Indiana. New beekeeper planning on making some mead when I harvest a decent amount of honey." Rock on, man. See what I did there? That's funny. Yeah, I would say just get enough honey and I don't know. I say start with a traditional, but a lot of people think that's taboo to start with a traditional. So brew whatever you want first. Watch out for the little black seeds of the strawberries. Off of the strawberries. Yeah, those are, I think that's where a lot of that flavor comes. But can you imagine pulling all of the seeds off the strawberry? I mean, I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm not saying it's great. It's simple? I don't really know. Renea says there's an Arizona beekeeper that sells cactus honey. Oh, interesting. Okay. I need to find that person. Baldy asks, do you distill ever? No, I don't distill. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. No, I really don't. That doesn't interest me. If I want to try and go blind, sure, I'll go and try and distill. But since I can, I'm going to go and buy the nice whiskey and the nice alcohols I want from the store. From the people who've done it before. Not the guy who's never done it before. Is it common to see mead in supermarkets? Depending on where you're at. Here in Oklahoma, not really. I mean, we got a couple. What do we get? We get a little bit of Redstone meadery here. I think Schramm's might be shipping here now. I don't know for sure. What's another one? Redstone Moonlight meadery is one. And then there's that I talked about earlier, the Muskogee one that... sorry, people. Dogstick Betch says there's a lot of people who try really hard to build up new brewers, great communities on Discord. Reddit is a little more rough around the edges, and Facebook mead groups are super toxic. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. You can find it in the Bay Area fairly readily. If you're in the Bay Area, you can probably get some mead. Like Arizona has more meaderies. It's just like your proximity to a meadery. We have one of them here. I guess two with this new person making mead. But I went, so this is a fun story. I went to the state fair for Oklahoma, and the meadery that's here in Oklahoma was represented. They were there and sharing some samples and stuff. And I got a little unimpressed when I asked them, "Hey, what kinds of, what kind of honey do you use in your brews?" And they answered with, "I don't really know." Okay, well, there's a waving red flag in my world. You should know what kind of honey you use. L says, what is the meaning of your shirt? I don't know if you can see it. I guess I'll go and explain it. So these are time signatures. And the joke is that they are difficult time signatures for music. So, that is the joke. Are you a Sooner or a Cowboy? Well, I could care less, honestly, about sports, but my wife is a big Cowboy fan, so I am a Cowboy. I live in San Diego. We have several here. Golden Coast, I actually just had a great podcast with Frank. Oh my gosh. From Golden Coast. Sorry, I'm reading multiple things at once now. No nutrients, not clear. We also bought too early, but sometimes meads just work out even without nutrients. It's kind of interesting. It's not great. It's kind of iffy, but things can work out. David says, to distill, you need to have a license from ATF. It is illegal to do so without having the license. 1 to 2 years of experience needed minimum. Hence why I don't do that. I have still made a lot of stuff through the years. By all means, if you want to charge forward in life and do those things, I don't want to do that. Josh says, love the channel. Can you tell us about the first time you ever tried mead? Also, how was the kiwi mead you made? That sounds amazing. First mead I ever made. Actually, interestingly enough, I had never tried a mead before I made mead. So I made my first traditionals and those things, and that was my first go into mead making and into trying mead. And so I don't recommend that because obviously you don't have a great gauge for what mead's supposed to taste like. But if you want to do a deep dive on the channel, we're about to record the 4th mead tournament in the channel history. The first mead tournament was with my first 16 meads, and it was me by myself in a small town in Texas tasting these 16 meads, and now looking back on it, it's a little cringy, but it's very funny because obviously by the end of a mead tournament, especially if you're doing it by yourself, you're a little frosty, and I was feeling a little frosty. So if you want to go have some fun, go watch that. That was an experience, but it was a lot of fun. The kiwi mead wasn't really truly a kiwi mead. It was a kiwi juice, some kind of juice base with kiwi in it and honey. And it was like a super extreme, how high ABV can I shoot this thing? It turned out actually very good, surprisingly. Toxic Petch. You don't run around screaming. I can't even say it at the house. I'm not going to say it. I'll get in trouble. I will play your recording of it for me. Fresh isn't so salty, 717. It's an interesting name. It says, just finished a blueberry mead with basswood honey, one I've never used. It went to 19%. Woo. Dang. That's going to take a little bit to age. Hey, Kyle. How's it going? Frank is a great guy. He is the most energetic person I think I've ever met in my life. Because that dude just I don't know if he could run out of words because he just has so much to say, which is not a bad thing because he's really smart. It's not like he's just spitting out random things. That dude knows a lot of information. So it was a lot of fun. And I wish I could have booked him for longer, but he was very busy. I met you after making all mead since I have Fermaid O. Fermaid O is helpful. I mean, it is important. Feed your yeast. Grant Britt says, okay, hear me out. Chicken and waffle mead, maple syrup, bouillon, chicken flavor, maybe malt. I will let the community talk about this. Big deal is just do primary, not secondary. No, it's not a big deal. what you need to do. If you're making a traditional mead, unless you are step feeding, you're not going into secondary fermentation. And I'm putting air quotes around it because I know that I've spent enough time around the Facebook community, Facebook group experts to say that there's a discrepancy between them. But secondary is really only if you're adding fruit or trying to restart fermentation. I just back sweetened the lactomel. I still haven't made the lactomel. Crap, that's what I need to do. We have a Discord. If you are curious, you can hop in the Discord and chat with us. Maybe somebody can help me out because if I try to do anything in the comments right now, it's going to explode. But we have a Discord where we are making meads kind of together, but also it's a Discord-based series. The next one is a lactomel, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, a milk-based mead. Booters. Oh, I can't say it. Oh, I almost said it. Hello, here from Syracuse, New York. What would be the hardiest mead? Oh, hardiest. I'm thinking viscosity, thickness. I made I actually has been out on the channel, a rum oaked bochet. Rum oaked buckwheat bochet. A lot of words there. That one, hardy, is thick, big bodied. Like, that thing is clearly that way. For a traditional battle. Ooh, Kyle, don't worry, buddy. You're gonna get one of those soon. Recommendations on using peaches. Can't get that taste of pop. My personal opinion, half in primary, half in secondary is the best way to do it. If you're wanting to only choose either or, I would put them in the secondary because you can adjust. The pros of primary are your yeast can consume and do the fun things with the sugars that they want, but then they also can add a little more tannic value in that regard. But secondary, you get more like true fruit flavor. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would say half and half is the best. Slinging meat at the Viking Hall tasting room tonight. Skal, Ragnarok Galaxy. Ooh, that sounds fun. Podcasts have been my guests. I've had so much fun. My guest, I have a couple dream guests, and I've been texting with Carvin Wilson for like 3 months now, and that dude is the busiest person I think I know. And I've been trying to book him down. We've almost had a podcast, and then things get busy. So Carvin Wilson, Ken Schramm. So if anyone, I've tried with Ken Schramm. I don't know if I'm cool enough yet. Maybe I just need to get a little cooler. I don't really know. But those are some dream guests to have. I think I've missed a few things. Has anyone ever told you look like a poor man's Ryan Gosling? I'll take it. Walmart Ryan Gosling. I'll make a shirt with that. That sounds fun. So, you guys are talking about dried fruits. That's something in my video yesterday, making a mango mead. A lot of people were saying dried mango actually works well. I've never done it, so I want to try that at some point. Ty says, funny you mentioned the buckwheat bochet. I'm going to be starting that this weekend, but finishing the cognac chips. Ooh, interesting. Do you have anything you'd recommend? I think the buckwheat, everything about that is super important. The buckwheat honey, obviously, bochetting the buckwheat honey. For me personally, rum oak chips were really good. I don't know about cognac chips. That could be really good as well. I don't really know. Rum oak was really nice. And do not, shake you violently, do not back sweeten with more buckwheat honey because you will regret it. Back sweeten with a warm wildflower, clover, some warm kind of honey, not buckwheat. Woo! Do you have a mead horn? I do. It's in the other room. I don't have one. It's got like a base on it, so it's like kind of a fake mead horn. I wouldn't say it's like a like the stand one. Have you ever had a Bavarian wheat beer? I think I have, but I'm not right now. I'm not recalling the moment. Pasteurized honey versus unpasteurized honey. Ooh, what a debate. Definitely unpasteurized. When you pasteurize honey, you are essentially just shooting out all of the nice aromatics that your honey is supposed to have into the stratosphere, and those are the things that are supposed to go into the mead. So, unpasteurized is the way to go. I'm literally about to go to the store and grab rhubarb. Is it better to add the full stalks or boil and filter? I need help. Y'all, I've never brewed with rhubarb, so somebody help me out. Uh-oh. Tried joining the Discord from the website. I can't make the comment right now. So, maybe there's a link down in this description? Can anybody help me out? Have you checked the description of this? Yeah, click the description of this video. You will find it right there. The link, at least. The one that will work. Hello, Ariel says. What would be the best way to get a pure vanilla mead? I've tried grade A beans, haven't tried grade B yet, but I hear they are better for brewing and seem to get no flavor. Put your vanilla beans in the post-fermentation stage, meaning do not put them in that primary state. Again, the primary is a state when a lot of the essential aromas, some of the flavors are blown out of the airlock. If you think about, I'm sure some of you are holding a drink right now. If I take this peanut butter jelly mead right now and I plug my nose and I take a drink, my sense of taste goes down by like 70%. Same thing goes when you put delicate fruit flavors, spice flavors in primary. You are blowing those things out of the airlock. Will some be retained? Yes. Will all be retained? No. So put that in the post-fermentation stage. That's what I would say. Vanilla beans, vanilla extract, if you're talking to Dog Sick Fetch, is also the way to go. Fresh vanilla beans. That's the way to go. I think so. They're more expensive, though. That's hard. Ever pasteurize your finished mead? I have. I've done that before. And it works well. It's a little more annoying, I would say. Because I am not afraid of potassium sorbate, metabisulfite. I've done the test. I've taste tested things side by side. You can't taste them. If anything, those things make mead taste better over time. And I won't get into that. Pasteurizing is fine. It's just inconvenient. And you can't, let's say you're back sweetening. You are going to end up with a layer of sediment at the bottom of your bottle from the honey. It's just like, fine. It's fine. Not ideal. How do lactomels work? Doesn't milk go kind of nasty? You don't actually use the milk. What you do is you take the milk and then you put some lemon juice in to where the milk proteins are curdled, and then you take the whey, which is WHEAEY, which is the essentially milk water, and you use that to brew. So it sounds real gross. I haven't started mine yet, I should say. Rhubarb, my grandma has entered the chat. That's funny. Sarsaparilla. Ooh, which is older? Which sounds more grandma-like? Rhubarb or sarsaparilla? I've never made anything with rhubarb, so I'm so sorry. Add a shot of Bailey's to your glass of mead. Boom, there's your lactomel. Oh man, Bailey's. When's the last time I had Bailey's? I feel like it was definitely in like a cup of coffee or something. Which, if you think about that, that is a paradigm. You got caffeine and then you got this downer of Bailey's. I think that's probably the last time I had Bailey's. Ooh. I did a 3-gallon mango habanero. Ooh, I love those. I need to make another one of those at some point. Only, oh, not reading that. Sorry, Trash Man. What do you think of allspice? CS put it with clove and cinnamon into a spiced apple cider. I'd go. Allspice is well, I'll put it this way. Allspice and acid blend are the same thing. It's the lazy man's way of trying to fix something. So allspice is like, hey, I'm being lazy. I'm just like, I don't really want to think about what spices to put in. So I'm going to put in all the spices. And the acid blend is the same way. It's malic, tartaric, and citric. It's going, I don't know what I'm doing specifically, so I'm just going to throw in all the acids and see what happens. It's not, I'll put it this way, it's not the best thing to do. Does it work? Yes. But if you have a greater understanding of those things, of all the spices and which spices you need versus all these acids, you'll be more pleased with your end product. I missed something. How do you feel about EC1118 for Mead? I noticed you have moved away from it in your most recent videos. Yeah, I've moved away only because I want... It is a fast fermenter. It is hardcore. And it does sometimes yield odd results. Also, I want, as I'm finding, low and slow mead fermentations can sometimes yield a better end result. So, sometimes slowing down helps. Hey, Brew Show, welcome. Well, I'm super glad you're here, my friend. Man, I've been wanting to connect with you. I'll be messaging you soon. How do you make a sour lemon mead not taste like soap? I don't know the answer to this. I will tip my hat to someone else because I don't know how you do that. I've made the lemon mead before. I've made a lemon and lime mead before that was very, for lack of a better term, pine sol-y. And I don't know how you fix that quite exactly. Baileys and coffees, the old school Four Locos. Oh man, Four Locos. Woo. Maybe that's the next should it be a mead? It's Four Locos. I just like dilute down some Four Loco, whatever they call that thing, in some water and throw some honey in. Woo. Go check out. So the Brew Show is Trent. He's from the Brew Show. He puts out mead and beer and brewing content, I should say, in general, probably more encompassing. But that dude is crushing it. I watched some of the recent videos and holy cow, their production value is great. Pacing is awesome. That dude knows what he's doing. That is high quality content. I made the buckwheat bochet today. Kept the foam from after cooking in primary. I always keep the foam from my bocets. Is it bad? I don't know. I've wanted to do a test for a long time. At some point, I'll do a test to see if there's a difference, but I don't think there is, frankly. Use the lemon zest. Don't use the pith. Also, limit zest contact by putting in a tea bag. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I think that... I'm sorry, I'm stuck on the allspice comment, but I'm going to move away from it. Have you made a dragon fruit mead? I have not. Mostly because of proximity, availability of fruit. I don't know where to get dragon fruit. Maybe my Asian supermarket or somewhere has it, but I don't know. Has your wife tasted all of your different types of mead? Has anyone? She's definitely tried a lot of my meads. I have a regular game of taking a glass to her, and she kind of hates it because it is a little annoying. But I hand her something and go, "What do you think?" And she's like, oh, well, it's good. And I'm like, well, what do you taste? And then it's kind of turns into a game. So she doesn't necessarily like it, but she's tried a lot of different combinations from me. Probably not everything, because there are arguably some things that I'm like, it's not as good. I like allspice berries and metheglin. Oh, interesting. Way easier to get kiwi. Are they on the same level? Kiwi and dragon fruit? I don't know. That's interesting. What's your wife's favorite mead you've made? Well, on tap right now, I keep my apple cinnamon. That's been pretty good. I'm trying to think what she's really liked recently. The blueberry cinnamon that I just did, again, recently, has been she liked quite a bit. Anything that has like a little bit of spice, like a fruit and a spice, seems to be kind of her niche. If you're after the dragon fruit, use hibiscus. So, I gotta think. I made a pineapple and hibiscus mead recently with cranberry blossom honey. And first of all, those three combinations, hibiscus is bright, pineapple is bright, and using cranberry honey is also bright. Surprisingly, it worked really well. What about guava meads? I've never made anything with guava either. I don't really have great access to it. Trent just said they sell frozen dragon fruit. I don't know if they sell frozen dragon fruit around me, but if they do, I'm gladly getting that. If they sell frozen guava fruit, that's great too. Or if I can get a extract or a puree, that's also what I might try. Renea, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Excuse me. She says, "My poor husband. I make him taste everything. Some is not his alley, up his alley, but he has found some meads he really likes." That's the thing. Mead is it covers a lot of different brewing spheres. And that's what makes it probably the most fun for me. Like, beer is fun, but I do feel like beer can obviously go in a very long, extreme realm. But, and so can wine. Wine can go in a lot of extremes. But mead can go, literally, it can fit into all of the beer realms, and all of the wine realms, and all of the cider realms. And it just says, hey, all of you, come on in. Let's be friends. Renee. So I was saying it right. Do you use any fining agents along with your fermentation? I don't use them alongside the fermentation. I use them post-fermentation. So recently, I've been using, I think I have some right here. I started to use a lot of dual fine, which is Kisasol and chitosan. And this stuff will clear up your brew in no time. Now, you can buy it like this. You can also buy, I think it's Easy Clear. It's the same thing. If you're doing a lot of clearing, you can actually buy Kisasol by itself and chitosan by itself. And then you have to do a little bit of math to figure out your ratios. But this is like $3, $4. It's graded for 5 gallons. So if you're trying to make a 1 gallon or clear a 1 gallon batch, obviously dumping all of this into your brew is not great. So having the individuals is helpful. I don't know how she can be mad when she gets free. That's funny. I will say she can still be mad. That is very fair. After watching your crafted artisan meadery for the vanilla cinnamon, I made my... Oh, that was a good one. I made one for myself, and it was a crowd favorite. Definitely a great flavor combo. I think that's been one on my list for a long time, and I just haven't got back around to making it. I think gold kiwi ferments better. Ooh. I don't know that. My flatmates try everything I make, but in a uni house, free booze is free booze. That's the same outside of a uni house, I would say. If you have friends that you take your mead to, more than likely, free booze is free booze, unless they are opinionated, in which case they might actually tell you what's up. No eggshells. Just watched that video the other day. I used the eggshells in my clearing thing, but it was not effective. It's kind of gross. What would you say is the average minimum time to age a mead before it's truly ready to drink, and max time before you diminish returns? That is very, very, very subjective. Because some meads will age better. Like a 20% Polish mead is gonna need 5 to 10 years to be fine. A 7% hydromel is gonna need two months at max. So it's just like, depending on the style, there are too many factors. It's kind of like raising a kid. You can't be like, how's my kid supposed to turn out? Well, here's the list of 300 factors that you should consider when trying to raise your kid. Any thoughts about starting a commercial brewery? Of course I've thought about it. The logistics are where I get caught up. Maybe one day. Have you ever done a sour lemon mead? I've done a lemon mead before, and it turned out pretty good. You have to back sweeten a lot to counterbalance. Sorry, there's a lot of questions, so I'm going fast. Question: I recently racked to secondary and added 1 pound of honey. Later, I saw wispy stuff on top. I thought it was an infection, but I made the honey into 3-to-1 syrup. I don't think that's wispy. Sounds like. Did you stabilize? I guess. Because if you didn't stabilize, that could be yeast re-fermenting. I don't know. It's hard to know without seeing. Bentonite is a great way to clear. I don't do it a lot. It's a little more labor intensive than I want. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with where I'm at. Any chance you're going to go down the BJC route for judging? Of course, I really want to do that. There's a test you take, and then there's another test you take, and so it's just kind of timing doing the tests. Do you like it better than Sparkloid? Oh, I definitely do. I'm not afraid of this stuff right here. Chizo Sand, Kisasol. Sparkloid's great, but that's easy. And especially now that I have basically a quarter gallon of it, you use a eighth or a 16th of a fluid ounce for a gallon. Like, you use such a small amount of each that it's just easy. Age until it's ready. Absolutely. Question: age limit on a hydromel bottle cart. Again, that's hard to say because some things age better than others. Some fruits age better than others. There's no, like, I'm not going to give a definitive answer to that, because the truth is there are too many factors at hand for how it could age. So, I would say you don't need to age them as long. As someone who just makes mead for fun, do you have any advice for QOL things? You're gonna have to elaborate. My brain is not comprehending that. Would you ever set up a PO box so we can send you mead? I have a PO box, actually. I think it's down in. I don't know that it's in the description of this video, but I do have a PO box, and you can. It's on my website, PO Box 162, some postal code. It's on my website. You can find it there. You can send me stuff. Just let me know you sent me stuff, because I don't always check it. So, all right, I am about 2 minutes from closing down this train, because my wife's home, so I want to go hang out with her. Do you think 6 month on a hydromel will still be good? Yeah, I think so. 6 month is not bad. I think you quality of life. That's what. Are you talking like mead making in general, or are you talking on the quality of life of meads? Because quality of life of meads, that's all pre-fermentation stuff. How you're taking care of your yeast. As far as quality of life for making mead. Well, I would hardly say that I make meads for fun. I know it sounds bad, but I make a lot of mead for YouTube content, and so that is a whole rabbit hole that is not as simple as one might think. For me personally, you guys are not going to experience this, but I have 15 to 20 projects going on at once. So my quality of life is like I am constantly updating a project to make something better. So it's just very, very different than what you might experience. Just notice some crystal deposit. Crystals. Could that be honey that was not dissolved totally and is now crystallizing? I don't know. That's a full igloo. I don't know the answer to your question. And I will yield, I don't know the answer to a lot of questions. So when you find somebody, and this is my final parting words, when you find somebody who says they know it all, you should run away as fast as possible because they are not a good teacher. And I will never say that I'm a great teacher. I will only yield that I don't know everything and I'm constantly learning just like you. And I hope that you see that through the channel. I hope you see that through conversations, that I am a part of the community. I am not up above the community. I am with you. I am here with you, and I want to be involved as much as I can. So if you would like to be continually part of the conversation, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. It helps me out. But more importantly, the Discord is a great way for you to get plugged in. It's in the description of this. Hit the link and join the Discord. Feel free to come chat with us. We've got lots of people in there. Over 1,000 members now, so it's a lot of fun. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a great Friday night. Shout out to my people across the pond who are up at like, I don't know, 4 a.m. for this. You guys are a little bit crazy, but I appreciate you. So, all right. I will catch you later. Cheers.